Hi guys, welcome to Octane on the Table. Today's DIY is my Victorian Christmas mantle. I like challenging myself to do things out of my element, and this took both time and a little research to do. See my previous tutorial on the making of these simple lamb ear deckled wreaths on my YouTube channel. So, I originally saw a tutorial on hanging fall wreath on DIY frames, so I thought I would go that direction with my old wrap canvases that I've had for years for the holidays. Little did I know how much work it would be to strip them down and paint them in two colors, the inside's black and the outside a dark brown. Because these frames are older, I wanted a cast iron rod feel for a modern appeal. I used my trusty E600 glue adhesive with regular hot glue to seal the panels together, gluing each side at a time. This took about 5 minutes for each panel to seal together. By now the frame itself was looking great, but I had bigger plans for it. Next up is the faux greenery I wanted to hang from the top. Dollar Tree for the win. I used one 6-foot wreath garland and added a branch extension to the original garland strand. After that, I went back and added an additional branch to every other additional branch around the center of the extended branch to further span the branches out so they had a natural directional flow to it. Voila! Once that was completed, I went straight to bow making. Who knew I would love to be teaching you how to tie bows with forks? But it was simple enough. Little red bows in the Victorian era were popular and quite customary in any household. I decided to make simple bows out of the simple Dollar Tree ribbon available. By using a simple dinner fork, I wrapped my ribbon around one side longer than the other around the fork, and then looped the ribbon through the middle sections of the fork, first to the back and then up and over the top. The tricky part is closing the bow by looping the short front ribbon through the longer one, but once it's pulled in, it's done. Don't know about you, but this was both fun and therapeutic for me. I enjoyed making about 20 of these to some old-time Christmas carols. Don't forget, trim your ends. Next up was the jumbo bead garland I wanted to make. Now, per research, beads were also in the era, but I wasn't about to spend big money on the Amazon wooden beads. I already have some Dollar Tree ping pong balls and plenty of red acrylic paint, also from Dollar Tree. So I threaded these first with my project knife, twisting and spreading out the knife for a wider hole, then went back with a toothpick tied to my string and finally painted them. While the paint was drying, I went ahead and started hot gluing my bows to the garland. Once the acrylic paint dried, the balls were a bright red that made my mantle pop with color. Lastly, I wanted a polished banner to wrap up the mantle decor. I love the idea of using sheet music, even though technically it's not a Victorian look, just a vintage look. Did you know the sheet music I'm using for this was actually my old Gather choir books I used to sing from in my old church choir? These choir books carry so many memories. Because I had multiple copies of these books, I felt comfortable enough to use them for this project. I used a DeFont Christmas font and with my Cricut cut them out and stuck each letter on a half sheet of music. Once the bunting banner of Christmas was complete, I was ready to assemble the entire look. What did you think of this mantle? What seems to be the most intricate part? Feel free to share your comments with me. Follow Octane Designs on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, and subscribe for more crafting videos.